Hello guys, my name is Akanksha and I am a teaching faculty at Caliber and Career. So today I'm here to discuss with all of you about LSAT examination, which is not as famous as CLAT and other examination like ALAT, but I would suggest it is a very good option as a backup for those who are especially taking a drop and not getting CLAT or ALAT due to any reason. You can consider it a very good option. Fill the form and keep a backup option. So we will be discussing today about the examination, the pattern of the examination, the syllabus of the examination, and what are the colleges which are taking a score of LSAT India and which will be the better option for you. All of that we will be discussing today, right? So let's start the discussion for today. So LSAT India examination this year, they are holding it twice like CLAT. So one examination, the registration is already done. For the second examination, the registration is going on. So the full form of this examination is Law School Admission Test, and there are many colleges which are registered under this examination, and they take the score of LSAT India. So first of all, who should be filling this form, right? Like your main target will be CLAT or ALAT. And apart from this, you must be considering other colleges, other examination like BHU or like Delhi University and other examination, because you want to have a backup option. So LSAT can also be a good backup option for those who are considering apart from these colleges also. Due to any reason you are not getting through this good college from CLAT, then you can consider it. So let's see the colleges first, and if you are willing to go into those colleges, then you can apply for this examination. For law colleges, they have these are the colleges. So you don't know which colleges they are exactly. Let's discuss it in detail that which are the colleges. See, the most famous college which take LSAT and which is a very good college doing really good among private institution. It is a global law school, which is Jindal Global Law School. You must have heard about it if you are preparing for CLAT or ALET, because this is a very good law college in India right now. But the fees is quite high. It's around 5 lakh per annum. So people who are okay with the fees should consider this college like apart from the government law college, because it's a very good private institution. Apart from Jindal College, there are other colleges also which takes LSAT score. For example, IFIM Law School, NMIMS, Manav Rachna, the Law Institute of Technology, UPES, they also take LSAT score. Then these are also some of the institutions which take LSAT score. Lloyd, GD Goenka, Alliance, you must have heard of. Then Amity, Jaipur, Mumbai, Lucknow, Gurugram, all of them take this score. Now this is also India affiliated law colleges for LSAT: SRM, Kalinga, ISBR, ALC, VSL, Geetam, Gwalior Amity, Chhattisgarh Amity, IILM, Indore Institute of Law. These are the colleges, their location. For example, Jindal is located in Sonipat, Asian College in Noida, Geetam in Vishakhapatnam. So you can look as per the location also, because some people would like to go to Bangalore. So they can go for IFIM, which is a very good private college right now in India. So, and the annual fees structure is also given. So fees is also a constraint. So you should be considering fees as well when you choose a college which you want to go into. Then this is the schedule. The schedule for this examination is for the next examination. Registration will close on April 25th. The test is scheduled on these dates, and May LSAT starting from May 9. and scorecard will be released in the month of June. Now this is the Jindal Law School. You can see. Now there are scholarships which Jindal provides, and which is a very important factor because the fees for Jindal is 5 lakh per annum, which is quite a lot. So these are the scholarships which I have also taken, so that you can get an idea about the scholarship and how you can get a scholarship for that. OP Jindal Outstanding Merit Scholarship. There are top 5 LSAT people who will get this scholarship and enroll in 3 years or 5 years LLB program and LLM as well. And this scholarship is of 1 lakh per year. This will be solely on the basis of LSAT. Other scholarships such as Naveen Jindal Young Global Scholarship, Shalu Jindal Outstanding Women Scholarship, which is especially for women. So these were the scholarship which you can consider for Jindal Global Law School. Now this is the eligibility for this examination. So you must have cleared your 12th boards and at least 45% marks you should have. And the qualifications are also eligible for LSAT India 2022. The age limit, there is no age limit for LSAT. Now the pattern of the paper now we will see, because the pattern of LSAT is quite different from any other examination like we have seen. For example, BHU, DU and CLAT ALET for the matter. So the pattern for LSAT is very, very different because they don't ask GK, they don't ask maths. So what do they ask? They ask analytical reasoning, which means critical reasoning mostly. Logical reasoning, there are 2 parts. Reading comprehension, there is 1 part. So there are 4 sections and 35 minutes you are given for each section. For example, A, B, C, D, these are the 4 sections. You will be given 35 minutes for each, which means that, for example, you have completed section A. Okay. Now you are going to section B and you completed in 20 minutes per se. Now you cannot go back to section A if you want to spend the rest of the 15 minutes to section A. Once you complete section A, it's done. You move forward. You cannot go back to section A. Okay. So 35 minutes for each section. It's your choice or your will that how much time you are giving to each section, but you will not like say that you'll complete one section in 10 minutes and rest of the 25 minutes you want to give to section D or C. You cannot do that. This is a very important point you have to consider. There is no negative marking in LSAT, no negative marking. And as I said, there is no GK, no maths, no legal. So this is quite different. So in your preparation, you have mostly to like consider reasoning, which is both logical reasoning and critical and RC. These are the main things these are the only thing that you need to prepare for LSAT. Now, how will you prepare? Because for CLAT and ALAT, you are already preparing, but you need to focus more on logical for LSAT, which means that for analytical reasoning, let's see what is the syllabus. In syllabus, you will see on the website that question will be asked the rules or principle that describes the relationship between things, event, person, and sets of statement. These questions measure the ability to understand the structure of relationships, and logical conclusions are drawn about the structure, which means that they are going to see how much you are applying the logic, the inference, the conclusion in the section, in this section, particular section. So what is the key? The key for this would be go through the concepts first, the basic concepts like what is premise, what is inference, What is conclusion? Go through the concept first so that you can understand that what are they asking in the question, right? So basic concepts you have to clear about analytical reasoning. What is the structure of argument? What is an argument? Structure. What is valid? What is invalid? All of this you have to study. You can refer a book like N.K. Pandey, or you can refer to LSAT books, which they provide if you pay. So you can pay and get the books from the website as well. Now, these are the type of questions which are there in analytical reasoning. For example, arrangement, comparison, selection, family-based problem, intersection type, logical deduction, direction, coding, decoding. Now, suggested approach for this section would be read the passage. Okay. Questions are independent, which means that each questions are independent. It's not like one passage is given and 5-6 questions are given from this only passage. No, each question you have to read whole and then answer independently. Highlighting the text using diagrams, which means that what we do for puzzle, what we do for Venn diagram, we make some diagram, we make some rough work, right? So when you read the question, just draw anything, whatever suits you, whatever make meaning for you, do that. For example, whatever is the question, for example, left, in left there is Anita, in right there is Sita. So make some diagram, like make here Anita, make here Sita, so that you can understand and in short you can solve the question. Now, logical reasoning. There are two parts for logical reasoning. What are the questions that they ask? Mostly the number letter series, the calendar, clock, cube, Venn diagram, binary logic, logical sequence, logical matching, logical connective, syllogism, blood relation. These are the topics. Most of the topic you are covering in CLAT or any other law entrance examination. You just have to focus on critical reasoning more in reasoning. You have to clear your concepts. What is the suggested approach for logical reasoning? For logical reasoning, you require to read and comprehend the short passage. Like they are giving in CLAT currently, there is a short passage like RC and you have to answer the question from that. Then answer 1 or 2 questions about it. The question test a variety of ability involved in reasoning logically and thinking critically. This include recognize the point, the issue of argument, detect the assumption which is there in the argument, drawing reasonable conclusion from the premise, identifying the applying principles, identifying method or structure of argument, error and misinterpretation. So for logical reasoning, it's a very most important part will be that you'll clear your concept about what is an argument, what is a structure of argument, what are the conclusion of argument, how they are drawn, what is assumption, what are the fallacies of argument, like what are the errors that can be there in an argument. Things like this, you have to clear the concepts, then practice some questions and you'll be ready to go. Do not pick a response simply because it is a true statement. Although true, it may not be the answer to the question posed. So similar to the question that we do for principle and fact in legal reasoning in CLAT and ALET, you just have to apply the principle in the fact. Similarly, here also, even if you know that this is a true statement in the options, you know that this is there, this is the knowledge that I have, still you have to stick to the question, the statement, the given, which is given. Even if it is true, it may not be the answer to the question. Okay. Answer each question on the basis of information that is given, even if you do not agree with it. Okay. Suppose information is given that age of majority is 25, for example, then even if you know that, no, this is not 25, this is 18, but you will have to apply this, which is given in the information. This is a very extreme example, but still for any knowledge, this will be applied, that whatever given in the information, you just have to apply that, nothing else. Now, reading comprehension is also a very important section, but because you are doing it for CLAT and ALET as well. Now, to RC are the majority of the part. The candidate will have to read, comprehend, and draw insight from the given passage. This section will include 4 sets of reading questions, each followed by 4 to 9 questions. So there will be the 4 sets, and there will be 4 to 9 questions for each. What will be the suggested approach? Reading the selection very closely and then answering the question. Okay. Reading the question first, reading the selection closely, and then returning to the question. Means read the question first, then read the options, then return to the question, then answer the question. Skimming the selection, questions are question very quickly, then rereading the selections closely and answering the question, which means that first you just go skim through the select options, then go to the question very quickly and then come back. So these are the 2 approaches that you can apply when you solve this question. The first approach will be read the passage, read the question, then go to the answers options, then go back to the questions, then come back. Okay. The second approach will be options first, then go to the passage, and then go back to the options and answer. So these are the 2 option that you can choose, but always read all the answer choices before selecting the best answer. The best answer choice is one that most accurately and completely answers, which means that you don't have to, like, for example, there are 4 options given, A, B, C, D. You cannot do that like you read option A, it seems correct, then you just mark it. No, you go to all the options, then see if other options are more accurate, more complete, because there are chances that both option A and B, both are correct, like both are from the passage and both are saying the truth, but there are what will be the right answer? The right answer will be the most accurate one, which means that which suits the most. Okay. For example, this answer is speaking half the reasoning. This is speaking the full reasoning. Then you will answer B. Similarly, respond to the specific question being asked. Do not pick an answer choice simply because it is a true statement, similar to what I explained earlier. Now, this is the structure of the examination. The mode will be remote and proctored examination, which means it will be online and remote examination. There is no offline test going on right now. The duration of the test will be 2 hours 20 minutes. Number of questions will be approx 92 because there is no fixed number of questions. The sections will be analytical reasoning, and there are 2 logical reasoning sections and reading comprehension. The format will be multiple choice, no negative marking is there, and 35 minutes for each section. Now, this is the cutoff for 2018 examination for different colleges. For example, for this college, for general 134.2, ITM 142.9, Alliance 145.2. This is for 2021 cutoff. Alliance, they have 145.2, ITM 142.9, School of Law 134.2, similarly. Now let's see some of the questions so that we can understand the pattern of LSAT. So the question here is that exactly 3 films named Greed, Harvest, Limelight are shown during Film Club Festival held on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay. Each film is shown at least once during the festival, but not more than once on a given day. Means in one day, one time. Now, on each day, at least one film is shown, means one day, one show at least. Films are shown one at a time. At one time, will be only one film. So the conditions will be given now. Okay. On Thursday, Harvest is shown. And no film is shown after it on that day. Means Harvest, after Harvest, no show. It's closed. On Friday, either Greed or Limelight, but not both, is shown. No film is shown it after it on the day. Means Friday, Greed or Limelight, any one. Now there are 3 films, that is Greed, Harvest, and Limelight. On Saturday, either Greed or Harvest but not both. No film is shown after it. Okay. Now, the question number 6 is, which one of the following could be a complete and accurate description of the order in which films are shown at the festival? Now, these are the options which are given. Now, what you can do is try to apply these conditions on these options. Okay. The first option is Thursday, Limelight, and then Harvest. Is it Limelight and then Harvest? It can be on Thursday. On Friday, Limelight and Saturday, Harvest. Friday, Limelight? No, it cannot be. So this will not be the answer. Similarly, we will see on Thursday, Harvest. Yes, it can be. On Friday, Greed and then Limelight. No, any one of them can be shown. So this will not be the answer. Now, the third option, Thursday, Harvest. Yes, Thursday, Harvest can be. Friday, Limelight. Yes, Friday, Limelight can be. Saturday, Limelight, then Greed. Saturday, Limelight, then Greed. Means Limelight can be before Greed and then Greed can be there, because after Greed there is no option of film. So this will be the answer because this is the accurate one. Which one of the following cannot be true? Now again you will apply the option in the condition and you will get the answer. Now this is from section 2. The direction is given and then you have to read this question and choose the appropriate option. Now what is the direction? The questions in this section are based on the reasoning contained in brief statement or passage. And for some questions, more than one of the choices could be conceivably answer the question. However, you are to choose the best answer. That is the response that most accurately and completely answer the question. You should not make assumption and common sense, standard implausible, and choose the best answer. Now, see, this is an example. A passage kind of is given. Economist, every business strives to increase its productivity. For this increases profit for the owners and likelihood that business will survive. But not all efforts to increase productivity are beneficial to business as a whole. often attempts to increase productivity decrease the number of employees, which clearly harms dismissed employees as well as sense of security of the retained employees. So you read the passage, you understood it, the meaning of this. Now the option is given, you have to choose which of these express the main conclusion of the argument made by the economist. So first option is, if an action taken to secure the survival of business fails to enhance the welfare of the business employees, that action cannot be good for the business as a whole. Some measures taken by a business to increase productivity fail to be beneficial to business as a whole. Only if the employee of business are also its owner will the interest of the employee and owner coincide. This was not even there in the passage. There is no business that does not make effort to increase its productivity. That is not there in the passage. Decreasing the number of employees in a business undermines the sense of security. Number of employees, it was not there. Na? So these are the possible options. Now you will have to find the most accurate one by applying the reasoning given in the question, and then you can find out the answer. So understanding the passage is very crucial. You have to understand what is being said in the passage and what is the basic idea behind it, like we do in RC. Now this is from section 3. The direction is given that the question in this section is based on reasoning, and you have to make the right choice and the option which is more accurate and correct. Now this is the question sample. The situation is given, analysis is given, and then the options are given. You have to choose. Now the situation is, someone living in a cold climate buys a winter coat that is stylish but not warm in order to appear sophisticated. So there is a cold climate. Okay, if somebody is living in cold climate, buy a winter coat that is stylish but not warm in order to appear sophisticated. What is the analysis? People are sometimes willing to sacrifice sensual comfort or pleasure for the sake of appearances. Okay. So what we can analyze from this passage is that sometimes we choose something which appear more nicely because and we ignore the fact that we are not feeling much comfort in that. Now this is the option. The analysis provided for the situation above is most appropriate for which of the following situation? Now there are options given. First option, a person buy an automobile to commute to work even though public transportation is quick and reliable. A parent buy a car seat for young children because it is more colorful, more comfortable for the child than other car seats on the market. A complete couple buy a particular wine even though their favorite wine is less expensive, better tasting, because they think it will impress the dinner guest. So in the passage, what they were trying to do, they were trying to show something to the third person, to other people, even at the cost of sacrificing their own comfort or own priorities, right? They were trying to impress others. Similarly, in this option also, you can see that this couple is sacrificing their own comfort of buying a cheaper wine because they want to impress others. So similar structure is there, similar like understanding is there. So this will be the best suited answer. Now, these are also some of the questions from this section. Now, section 4. The direction is again given that this section is based on a single passage or a pair of passage, which means that there may be a single passage and then questions, or there may be two passage. Like this is one set of questions in which two passages are given and then questions are asked on analyzing both the passage. Now see, this is passage B, this is passage A. Okay, now this is a single question. There are two passages given. You have to answer according to the analysis of both the passage. Now what you will have to do in such question is go through both the passage in a glimpse overview the passage, what they are talking about, and then go to the questions. Both passages were written primarily in order to answer which of the following questions. So this question will easily be answered if you have a basic idea of the passage. You can answer that. What is the passage talking about? Now the second question is, each of the two passages mention the relation of music to what? Okay, so if you have gone through the passage, you can answer that. What is the relation of music to whom they are talking about? This is also a question in which it can be inferred that the author of two passages would most likely to disagree over whether. So this can also be answered if you have read passage A, passage B, then you can understand that what both the authors were trying to say. So you have to go through the passage very nicely, very deeply, line by line, and then answer these questions. The key points is that it does not, like this examination does not test about the knowledge like other examination like CLAT or ALET test your prior knowledge of legal or prior knowledge of your current affairs, your mental memory part they test. But this particular examination, they don't test how much knowledge you have about history, how much knowledge you have about politics, how much knowledge you have about other general knowledge areas. They are just testing your thinking skills because you are going to join a law school, right? So you are required to have a logical brain, a critical thinking. When you read some case laws, when you become a lawyer, when you solve cases, you are required to apply your brain, your critical reasoning. You are not required to apply your knowledge because you will be having those books, right? You will be already read and gone through all the books of law. So that is there in the law school that you are going to study, and that is there in your homes when you will be in your offices when you will be a lawyer, right? So what they are testing here when you are entering a law entrance examination is how much critical thinking you have, how much analytical you can be, how much you can apply something which is already given. Like for example, you already have the bare act of criminal law. Okay, you have the material that you can read. Every lawyer have that. What extra you have? The analytical skills, how well you apply those laws which are there. So that's why they are testing your thinking skills more. These are also the examples of the sections that we have earlier dealt. Like for example, in this question, they have asked that the above argument as a whole seeks to establish what. Now you have to read this and then you have to understand what the author is like establishing in this argument and then answer the question. So these are the type of questions which are asked. Now, for example, this is again that question in which you have to, like, for example, puzzle. You have to make a small diagram for your own understanding and then apply those conditions, write in short those conditions. For example, in this question, it is written that each medicine at least one side effect have. It have at least one side effect. It can be more than one. So make a like in front of the medicine, make some fill in the blanks and then go to other condition, then fill those conditions, and then you can go to the question and answer the question. Applying those conditions in that particular question, in those options which are given in the question, you can easily find the answer. Now, what I would suggest for this examination is go and work on the basics. Okay, basics means what I've already said, that clear your basics about what argument is, what conclusions are, how we approach a reading comprehension question, etc. It comes with practice, obviously. For example, you have to increase your speed and accuracy because you have to read a lot in this examination. There are long passages, there are passages for each section. So you will have to have a good reading speed, which you can inculcate in yourself by reading a lot, by practicing a lot. You can refer any good book of reading comprehension and you can practice. And also one more important thing is, whenever you practice for reading comprehension, whenever you mark, for example, there are options given A, B, C, D, and you are having an answer sheet, a notebook in which you are answering the questions. Okay. For one, for example, the answer is A, for two, answer is B, and C answer is C. Third. Now, when you check your answer, when you check yourself, then, for example, your third question was wrong. Just don't leave it here. Go back to the question and find out how you went wrong. What is the problem that you had, why that error occurred. Okay, finding that is quite very important here. So that will help you. So give mock test a lot, because for LSAT examination, especially because you don't have to have any memory power, or rote learning is not there. You cannot have that revision thing, like for example, you'll just learn what are the meaning of these maxims. You cannot do that. You have to practice, practice, and practice. Practice is the key for LSAT. You just have to practice a lot and repeat the practice. For example, you have solved a question once, and in that question there were 3 separate questions from that particular passage. Go back to it if you have done some wrong in that. Even if you have not done wrong, go back to it to understand how you applied that particular analytical reasoning in that particular question, because that is the only way we can prepare for this examination. There is no other way. Just practice a lot, give a lot of mock tests. That is going to help for this examination. That is all for this particular examination, for this session. I hope this has helped you for your LSAT examination and deciding whether you want to apply for this examination or not. I hope I have cleared all your doubt, and that's all from me today. Thank you so much, and I hope you all choose wisely and do good in the examination. Thank you so much.